We're going to go to Pam Parsons, the newly re-elected MHA for Harbour Grace, Port de Grave. And I see, Pam, I didn't know you did this as well. You're the Commonwealth Women's Parliamentary Representative. That's the good organization, the Commonwealth.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Tim. It's always nice to hear your voice here on our local airwaves. And
thank you.
But yes, I am the Commonwealth Women's Parliamentarian Representative for Newfoundland and Labrador, and it's a group, of course, of female elected officials across the Commonwealth, and we come together ultimately with the goal in supporting women to elected office, and to do and to create initiatives and strengthen programs to do just that. And I mean, I also want to point out and congratulate every female candidate, Tim, that stepped up this current election. I think it's the most we've had in the history of our government here, and elected government in Newfoundland and Labrador. I think it was 41 female candidates and a non-binary candidate. So hats off and congratulations, because as you know, to step up and to make that dedication and that commitment to put your name on a ballot, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of volunteer time. You've got to ask for a lot of help from a lot of people, and so they are certainly to be commended on that. So I think that's wonderful.
Is it easier or harder, Pam, to run as a female candidate now? The example I think of is the one here in Ottawa of the awful abuse that somebody like Catherine McKenna has received, and there does still seem to be this comfort, if I can use it that people have in taking horrible shots at female candidates and finding it acceptable to diminish them in any way, shape, or form that they have. Has it gotten worse or better with social media for women that are looking to enter the political realm?
Well, I think social media overall, I mean, you take politicians from the past, that's not something that they had to, that was available for them to get their message out, or for vice versa, for people to communicate and express their views with social media. One thing I would like to say, though, I would like to see people be accountable for example, there's a certain platform that you can go on and create an alias, and you can go and you can say pretty much whatever you want, and there's no rule, there's no legislation, there's no law that makes you come forward and be accountable for those words that you put out there. I think everybody across the board probably would agree with that. But just take a look, for example, there are 40 seats in the House Assembly. 9 are only represented by women. That's what we had before this election, and that's what we're coming back with. The same amount. So, I mean, we've come a long way since women were winning the right to vote back in the early 90s, in the first, around the time of the First World War. Can you imagine that, though, winning the right to vote? You had to fight to win, and that, of course, trickled its way across, the country and other countries, how more provinces saw that right and gave women that right to do, but there's still a lot more work to do. There really is. And, I mean, traditionally, politics is certainly a male-dominated profession, as many industries are. But we are certainly making headway. But it's going to take everybody supporting, not just women banding together, but men to support women as well. And we need to do more for that, for sure, absolutely. But I do want to, like I say, congratulate those women who did step forward and the people. That said, Tim, this is my third time being elected to the House of Assembly to represent the people of the Harbour Grace Port de Grave district. My sincere thanks and for their support in me and their confidence that they've placed in me. It certainly is an honor to get in that House of Assembly and to stand. And when you're standing, that's one thing I always say. Remember, we are representing the thousands of people who elected us here in these seats. And I'm a big believer in everybody. We're here for the betterment of the people overall.
All right. Well, I'm sure people appreciate being thanked. I know it's always something that volunteers pay a lot of heed to, because, as you alluded to, in every candidate, regardless of party knows or not party and independence, you can't do what you try to do during an election campaign without legions of volunteers. So as we head into Easter, thank you to them. They all matter in the democratic process. Thank you for your time today, Pam.
Absolutely. Happy Easter to everyone out there. Let's stay safe. And Tim, always nice to hear you. Hope to have you living back home in Newfoundland and Labrador sometime.
I'd just like to visit, but we won't get into that today, Pam. That's a rant for another time. All right. Thank you very much.